Hi, I'm John Hendrickson, and I'm honored to be here today. I'm gonna adjust this because I'm a little tall and kind of awkward. I can't quite explain, sorry, some reverb. I can't quite explain everything it means to be up here talking to all of you. I almost didn't graduate from college because I went to extreme lengths to avoid taking a basic 100 level public speaking class. I spent the vast majority of my life feeling ashamed of the way that I talk. I'm 35 now. I feel like I look much older, gray hair, you know. And if I had told my college age self that I'd be up here and be walking up on stage, that kid wouldn't have ever believed it. I'm among the 3 million Americans with the neurological disorder known as stuttering. I tried and failed to hide from that truth for most of my life. People don't really understand stuttering. It's far more complicated than being afraid to give a speech like this one. I know exactly what I want to say, but the pathway from my brain to my lungs to my mouth doesn't operate the way it does for pretty much every person in here. There is no cure for stuttering. So as a kid, you begin to learn how to hide. For decades, I'd avoid introducing myself. I couldn't answer the phone. I'd avoid going out to restaurants because I was afraid of ordering off the menu and catching a look from the waiter. Then in 2019, I interviewed Joe Biden about his lifelong journey as a person who stutters for an article in The Atlantic. At my editor's urging, I included some personal material in that article as well. I couldn't have ever imagined what happened next. The article went viral, and stutterers around the world began sending me letters and emails about their own lives with this disorder. all different ages, races, backgrounds, people writing me from other countries in broken English. And they weren't dashed off little notes. People poured their hearts out. Many of them began I haven't told anyone this, but, and then they would write 1,000 words about their life. And as days and weeks and months went by, these kept rolling in. And I eventually received over 1,000 of them. So I realized that this was a underexplored topic. I was afraid to write this book, but I was aware that if I did, I'd have to go out and talk to some of these other people who stutter, because I wanted to offer the fullest possible understanding of this disorder. And I interviewed over 100 people over the period of a couple years. I was searching for an answer. I had some hard questions. How do you make peace with the shame of stuttering? What do you do with all that built up anger and embarrassment? All those feelings you lug around every day like a backpack. How do you come to terms with an aspect of yourself that you're taught at such an early age to hate? I also went back to talk to people from my past. I went back as far as I could go. My kindergarten teacher looked her up, my second grade teacher, my sixth grade girlfriend. You know how weird that is to like Facebook message your sixth grade girlfriend? Can we talk about it? To my surprise, everyone was just completely happy to talk and just have these amazing conversations. But old therapists, my parents, my older brother, when it came to my family, I asked them a pretty crazy question, which was, can we sit down and talk just about life and about this part of my life that we never ever talked about? It was the elephant in the room. It took up a lot of space. And can I put a tape recorder between us, well aware that we're going to talk about the good and the bad and everything in between? And can I eventually write this in a book? And they said, yes, because we love you. They were some of the most challenging, difficult, profound, and cathartic conversations of our lives. And this book is a result of everything that came out of those conversations. This is a book about how the struggle to communicate affects every aspect of your life. But it's also about writing and music and road trips and Simpsons jokes. It's about some harder topics: depression, anxiety, substance abuse. But above all, it's about relationships, including the cosmic story of how I met my wife, who also has a disability and is here today supporting me. Champion of the year. It's about some of the challenges that all families struggle with, whether a member of the family is disabled or not. And it's about never underestimating anyone's capacity to change and grow. As I've traveled the country over the past year, visiting bookstores and conferences and a lot of college campuses, I've been blown away at how people who don't stutter have read and received this book and how it's resonated with them. So many people from all walks of life have told me how they see themselves in this story and how it's helped them begin to come to terms with their own hard truths. This is a book for anyone who's ever felt like the other. For anyone who's looking for a way to let go of some of those feelings we lug around every day. I went to Penn State. Going away to college and finding my tribe was one of the most formative experiences of my life. I was an English major, and I vividly remember all the books I read in college. I can picture myself in my dorm and my apartment reading Mary Carr and Toni Morrison, people whose lives were so different from my own and who opened up a whole new world to me. I wrote this book partly because I think it's a book I could have used when I was 18. I'm so profoundly grateful to just be here and be able to share it with you all. And it's surreal to sit at this table today with all these amazing authors. It's just something I truly didn't think was possible, or even in the realm of possibility. So thank you for giving me a few minutes to share with you this afternoon. And thank you for opening your ears and your hearts to a different way of communication.